Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a sit down video in a while, but I actually planned this video probably a month ago. So I've been wanting to film this video, and if you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Vivian. I like to make faith related videos, lifestyle videos, vlogs. 10 mistakes that I made in my first year as a believer. And I'm gonna expose myself so you guys don't have to do what I did. You guys don't have to go through what I went through. So with that being said, let's get right into it. But right before I get into it, I just want to share with you guys that Lifestyle of Freedom launches this Sunday. If you are near the Whittier area, I 100% recommend to come in person. If you are 45 minutes or more away from Whittier, meaning like if you're out of the state and out of the country, you could take it online. But if you're in the area, if you're near Whittier, you do have to come in person. So I'm gonna link down 2 videos that I filmed about Lifestyle of Freedom, but it's what really helped me with my walk, and it really helped me really with every single area in this video that I'm gonna talk about. Lifestyle of Freedom helped me overcome all these areas. 10 mistakes I made my first year as a Christian. Number one, gossiping. The Bible talks about it a lot, but I think people don't understand what gossip is. It's when you're talking badly about someone behind their back, you're using their name. It's when you're sharing something that you shouldn't be sharing about that person. It's even if someone did something to you and you're speaking badly about them because they did that to you. So let's say you're explaining the situation to someone and you begin to speak badly about them. Explaining the situation is not gossip, but as soon as you start speaking badly about that person, you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds of gossip. You're planting bad seeds, and you're gonna reap what you sow. So don't gossip. Don't talk badly about others. If someone does something to you and you want to talk about it and you want advice about it, what I do is I don't use a name. I don't use a name because I don't want anyone not liking somebody because of me sharing something. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So gossip. Do not gossip. It says in Ephesians 4:29, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So I did have a problem with gossiping in the beginning, just because, you know, I didn't really understand. But in order to not gossip, you have to set boundaries. So when people start talking about other people to me, I'll say, hey, I don't feel comfortable because I don't gossip. Even if they're not believers, I'll set that boundary. Like, I don't talk about other people. And you have to set those boundaries because it's very easy. Because you can go ahead and not gossip, but the moment someone else starts gossiping to you and you join them in, that's kind of where I had the problem, is when other people would gossip to me. And I'd kind of be like, oh, and who, and what, and why, and where. Kind of like feeding into it. So what I do now, instead of letting people gossip to me or me join in their gossip, is I set a boundary. I'll literally tell them I don't feel comfortable talking about other people, or I'll say, hey, I don't like to gossip. Hey, I don't want to gossip. I'm not going to talk about this with you because I don't like gossiping. And you just have to set those boundaries. So make sure you set boundaries, especially with your family, with other non-believers. With the believers, you just need to straight up tell them, like, bro, you're gossiping, stop. You need to tell them straight up, because there are brothers and sisters in Christ, and we have to love them, and loving them is being straight up with them. Like, don't gossip, stop gossiping. So yeah, that's my first mistake. Now, number 2, slander other pastors and ministers. So, you know, when I first got saved, there was certain pastors and ministers that I didn't like, and I would openly talk about them badly, and I would say this and this is a false prophet, and this and this is a false blah blah blah, and I'll say things like that. You know, I didn't know any better, but now I won't talk badly about them. Even if I don't like them, I won't listen to them. I'll never get on YouTube and be like, so and so is a false prophet, don't listen to them. I would literally never do that. And just this mistake here alone, a lot of people involved in this mistake, they do this. If you don't like a pastor, if you don't like a minister, if you don't like a preacher, don't listen to them. That's it. Don't listen to them. Don't talk badly about them. Somebody brings them up, just don't say anything about them. And the reason why I'm saying this is in Chronicles 16:22, touch not my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm. Now, okay, you know, there may be certain ministers and pastors that you don't agree with, but man looks on the outside, God looks on the inside. Everyone work out their own salvation. Some people worry about so much about other pastors and what they're preaching and what they're saying and all these things. And, you know, there is certain pastors I will not listen to, and that's fine. I just won't listen to them. But I'm not going to talk badly about them. I'm not going to wish harm upon them, and I'm not going to go on social media and start calling them false prophets and speaking badly about them, because this is going to bring a curse on your life. Like, what if God is using them? What if God is using this person and you're speaking badly about them and you're planting bad seeds about them? What if God is using them? It says man looks on the outside, but God looks on the inside. God looks at the heart. And that's why that scripture says, everyone work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Like, some of you guys are so worried about others. Like, have you taken the time to look at yourself? And I did this. Like, I'm not just coming on here speaking from no experience. I did this. I would speak badly about people who have been serving God for years simply because I didn't like what they preached. And you know what? It's really not your place to say anything. It's not. So if you don't like them, don't listen to them. If you don't like them, don't talk about them. If somebody brings them up, just don't talk badly about them. Don't say anything badly about them. I'll simply just say, oh yeah, I personally don't listen to them. And that's it. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to speak anything else about them. That's it. Number 3, my third mistake is watching Christian TikTok. Now, no shade to any TikTok creators. There is some good, genuine TikToks. People that create TikToks, like in the Christian community, there is some good ones. There is some people that are genuine. But the thing you guys need to understand about this Christian TikTok, a lot of people on there, they're simply doing it all for clout. They just want followers. And, you know, this basically goes with anybody online. It's like, you want to see the fruit of this person's life. Like, you don't want to take advice from a 15-second video from someone that you don't even know, like, what their life is really like. You don't really know if they're living for God. And I noticed on Christian TikTok is that people talk badly about other people. People will say things that don't even line up with the Word of God. You don't want to just take anything that anybody says. And that's Christian TikTok. Like, a lot of people are not genuine on that app. And you guys need to be careful, especially if you're a new believer. Like, some people are just doing it to get followers and for clout. And they're not genuine. And I'm not speaking badly about any specific creator. But from experience, when I was on Christian TikTok, I personally was thrown from doctrine to doctrine to doctrine to doctrine, and I got very religious in this little phase I had where I was listening to Christian TikTok. You just need to be careful. It says in James 1:6, but let him ask in faith with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. So I was basically I was doubting a lot during this time. Christian TikTok is awesome, and it's great to share testimony, and it's great, you know, to have a community and meet others. But a lot of the time, some of the things people would say as a new believer, it would make me doubt certain things, and I was basically being tossed around like a wave and doubting my faith a lot during this time. So just a warning, and just from advice, is stay away from Christian TikTok. Also, I'm not saying that God can't use Christian TikTok, because God used Christian TikTok even for me. Like, I got some good out of Christian TikTok, but I got a lot of bad out of it too. Like, so many bad seeds were planted because so many people go on there and speak badly about other people and other Christians and other ministers, and they don't care. And it just kind of made it seem like it's okay for you to do that, and it's not okay for you to do that. Number 4, argue with family members about Jesus. Okay, so this is kind of a hard one when you're a new believer, because if your family's coming against you, and like the old me, I would argue a lot. So when this started happening, they would argue with me about it and tell me things. I started getting mad, and I'll start, snapping back at them and like basically like telling them off in a way, defending my faith, not in a gentle way, not in a loving way, just kind of like going off on them, and basically having like outbursts of anger whenever they would tell me stuff. But that's not the way you want to tell people about Jesus, especially when you are the representation of Jesus. Like, you're the closest. Let's say your families are all non-believers, like you're the closest thing they're gonna see to Jesus. So that's just something to think about. You don't want to stir up like division and arguing and all of that. And I would argue out of a place of pride, not out of a place of love, if that makes any sense. So here it is. Here is the scripture I have, Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers all wrong. Dissensions is disagreements that leads to discord. So, yeah, I was arguing with my family, and it was creating like division and hate, and just kind of like making us go against each other, when what I should have been doing is loving them. What does the Bible say? Like, if they strike you on one cheek, you give them the other. Yeah, not that they were hitting me or anything like that, but I was not doing that. Like, I wasn't being gentle, and I wasn't being loving. And I did have a lot of problems with anger in the beginning of my walk. I'd get really, really mad when my family would tell me stuff, and the enemy would use that. But now it's just kind of like, you just have to love them. And you just have to love them. And that's the way they're going to come to Christ. Not if you're telling them, like, you're going to hell. Not if you're telling them, oh, you're wrong, I'm right. They're not going to come to Christ like that. It's through love that they're going to come to Christ. By loving them. Even when they're wrong. Even when they're being mean to you. Even when they're arguing with you and you're right. You just love them. Okay? So, arguing. Don't argue out of a place of pride. Number 5. Mistake. My 5th mistake is taking advice from unsafe family members and friends. So, when we were in the world, obviously, we would hear people's advice and we would take it. And when I got saved, I would ask, my friends, and I would ask my family, oh, what do you think about this? And the thing about that is, like, if you're asking people for advice that are not saved, like, they're going to give you the world's point of view, not the Bible's point of view. So whenever you're looking for advice, whenever you're looking for even comfort, or even wanting to share something that's stressing you out, or something like you just want to vent, like, you don't want to vent to people from the world, because they're going to give you the world's perspective. Here it is. John 4:5. They are from the world, and therefore speak from the viewpoint of the world, and the world listens to them. We are not the world, so you don't want to listen to your unsaved family members, to your unsaved friends. They're coming from the world's point of view, and you're not in the world anymore, and you don't need the point of view from the world. You need the biblical viewpoint. So you want to go to someone that's saved. You want to go to someone that's serving God. You want to go to someone that you trust, and someone that you can see their fruit. So, for example, for me, I would go to Alicia, because I see the fruit of her life. She's been following God for a couple years, and I see the fruit of her life. It says you will know them by their fruit. So if they have good fruit, you want to go to them, not to someone from the world. Number 6. My 6th mistake is listening to music I used to sin in. When I first got saved, I was still listening to, worldly music, but not just worldly music, but like the music that I used to go to and pop pills to, the music that I used to like do, all my sinning to, kind of. So whenever I would listen to this music, it would bring back all these feelings, and it would bring back all these like emotions and all these desires that are not of God. And you really need to just separate yourself and consecrate yourself from that music for as long as you have to. I personally won't listen to, the rave music I used to listen to, like Excision and you know, all those dubstep artists, like I will never listen to them again. And yeah, I just stay away from music that will bring back desires, that will bring back these feelings and these desires that are not of God, and even just like memories of what I used to be in. And not that it's bad to remember what you used to be in, but when I was barely saved and this would bring me back, I would miss it. Now when I listen to music that I used to listen to, you know, if it's playing somewhere and it brings back memories, it's not like I miss it. It's kind of just like, dang, that really used to be me. So you just really want to separate yourself from worldly music. Personally, I still don't listen to the music I used to listen to, like Bad Bunny, all the EDM music. Like, I don't listen to that music. I can't. I don't want to. I don't miss it. I don't like what it says. Like, it's too perverted. I won't listen to it. Obviously, if it's playing somewhere, like Forever 21, or it's playing at a restaurant, I can't, you know, be all super religious, like, oh my gosh, make it stop. No, but I personally, by choice, won't listen to this music. And my 7th mistake was isolating myself. And this is kind of like crazy because we were in COVID when I got saved, so I was very isolated. And I even still now, this mistake will come up. I try to isolate myself, and isolating yourself is really bad. Proverbs 18:1, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desires. He breaks out against all sound judgment. Isolating yourself is not the smartest thing to do. The devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking to whom he may devour. If you are by yourself, the devil's gonna go towards you. But if you are surrounded by a Christian community, if you're surrounded by people that speak the word into you, that speak life into you, you know, you have a better chance of standing firm against the enemy than you do when you're alone. So don't isolate yourself. And even when you're around people, you can isolate yourself by not sharing what you're going through, by not seeking sound counsel. So don't get into pride, because that's pride, isolating yourself. You're basically saying, like, I don't need anybody, I can do it on my own. And, you know, obviously our full dependency is on Jesus, but we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to do this walk with other brothers and sisters in Christ. So do not isolate yourself. Like, you need a community of Christians, and I know it's difficult for some of us to find that, but I pray for it. I prayed for it. God answered my prayer. So you need to pray for it. And my prayer was, I don't want to be around lukewarm Christians. I want to be around real Christians, people that live for you, people that lay down their life for you. And that's what God gave me. So be specific, because you don't want to be around lukewarms, because then you'll be a lukewarm. So pray for real Christian friends. Okay, number 8, my 8th mistake was I expected to be perfect overnight. And so when I got saved, I expected this like crazy, you know, transformation. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna want to go out anymore. I'm not gonna want to do drugs anymore. I'm not gonna want to go to raves anymore. And not that I did any of that, because I didn't ever go back to doing that, but the desires still were there. The desires still came on me when I first got saved. And you know, I thought it was so wrong, that I felt so guilty for having those desires. But we need to understand that when we get saved, it's not, our mind is still the same. We need to, that's why it says that we need to renew our mind, because of everything that we went through when we weren't saved. So don't expect to be perfect overnight. You are a new creation, but you're still gonna have your old thoughts. You're still gonna have your old habits. You're still gonna have all these old things from when you weren't saved. Like, you can only imagine, you were serving the enemy for who knows how many years. Now you're serving God. It's like all of this has to die. All of your old desires, you know, they have to die, and you have to renew your mind. That's why being in the Word is so important. That's why prayer is so important. That's why it's important to be in the Word. Like, I was in the Word so much when I first got saved. I still am. Obviously, I still am. I'm in church a lot. I'm still in the Word. I'm still in prayer. But when I first got saved, that's all I did. I read the New Testament like in a couple months. I was in the word like 24/7, and truly that is what helped me renew my mind and get all these old desires away from me. So don't expect to be perfect overnight. If old desires start coming back, just get in the word. The word is what's gonna help you, but don't expect to be perfect overnight. It takes time to change. It takes time to be transformed, and God can do things overnight. He definitely can, but that's not always the case. So don't expect to be perfect overnight. It's a process. Enjoy the process. There is a process, and there's a process, you know, of dying to yourself. There's a process of letting go of your old self, letting go of old worldly things that you used to hold on to. It's a process, and everyone's process looks different. So don't expect to be perfect overnight. Philippians 1:6, and I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. So, you know, if God began a good work in you, he's gonna finish it. Just keep chasing after God, keep being in the word, and very important for you guys to have a community and be surrounded by Christian friends so they can help you. And that's why I always talk about Lifestyle of Freedom. Sign up for Lifestyle of Freedom. The link will be down below. Okay, number 9. This is embarrassing. Honestly, I've never told anyone about this. I've never even talked about this. I don't think anybody knows this. But I'm gonna just tell you guys, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that I did. So, number 9, try to talk to a guy right when I was saved. Yeah, I did that. Okay? I did that. And you know what? We live and we learn. So basically, like right when I got saved, this was before I even went to church, before I even started going to church, I started talking to some guy. This is embarrassing. From that Christian dating app. Yeah, I did that, okay? That Christian dating app that's not even Christian, because it has an option to talk for guys to choose guys and girls to choose girls. But anyways, yeah, I was on that app and I started talking to some guy, and basically I was barely even saved, like probably even maybe like a month, and I was trying to talk to some guy. And don't do this, okay? Don't do this, because you are barely even saved. You don't even know what you like yet. Like, because like I said, you still have all your old habits, your old thoughts, your old ways, and you don't want to get into a relationship when you have all these old thoughts, all these old ways. Like, you're not even delivered yet and you're trying to talk to a guy or a girl. That's just like not smart. Don't try getting into a relationship right when you get saved. You gotta let God deal with you. You gotta let God deal with your old ways. You gotta let God deal with, you know, whatever he needs to deal with before you're even a spouse or talking to anybody. And even now, I'm a whole year in. I'm not ready for no spouse. I'm not ready to be courting anyone. I'm not ready for all that. And you just need to be straight up with you. God has to deal with you a lot before you can be a wife or a husband. And that's just being real. Stop trying to do things on your own understanding, because that's what I was doing. You need to be patient. You need to wait on the Lord, and you need to know that that's gonna come. That will come. Being a spouse will come. But in this season, like when you barely get saved, in this season of singleness, God is going to deal with you. God is going to break off things. God is going to deliver you. God is going to do so much. God is going to lead you to your purpose and to your calling. God is going to do so many things in you that he needs to do before you get a spouse, before you start dating anyone, which dating is not biblical. It's courting. But anyways, that's a whole other video. But basically, my point is, the Lord is good to those who depend on him, to those who search for him. So it is good to wait quietly. It's just wait, and just know that God needs to deal with you before you are in any kind of relationship, okay? And don't make this mistake. Trust me. Just avoid it completely. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm a whole year in and I'm still not even close to being ready for that. So, wait. Okay, Number 10. Here it is. My last one is idolize other Christian YouTubers, influencers, and preachers. So this one specifically is kind of like looking to what a Christian YouTuber is doing, or looking to what a Christian influencer is doing, looking to what a preacher is going to be doing, and looking to them instead of looking to God. Does that make sense? So YouTube is awesome, and it's an awesome community, and it's great, and it's, you know, I've even seen through just me being a YouTuber myself, it helps people, and that's great. But you never want to first look to a YouTuber or to anyone really before you look to God. You always want to look to God for everything. And what I mean by that is people put these like high expectations on the Christian YouTubers, the influencers, and the preachers. Like, people put these expectations on them as if they're not human. Does that make sense? Kind of like looking to them as if they're perfect. And I would do that. And you don't ever want to do that, because they're not perfect. They're human, just like you. They need to spend time with God, just like you. They were not saved at one point, just like you. So don't idolize YouTubers, don't idolize influencers, don't idolize preachers, and don't view them as like the answer. Don't look to them first before you look to God, okay? So even, for example, here, let's say that you feel like God spoke to you through something. That's great, that's awesome. Take it to the prayer room and confirm it with God. Because I'm not God. I'm just a person like you, chosen by God. You're chosen by God. You're called by God, just like I am. So you don't want to, you know, idolize these people, and just know that they're human like you, and they need God just like you, and God chose them just like God chose you. So, you know, basically what I'm saying is, don't feel as if you're not as special as these people. Because I feel like that was happening to me. I always felt like I was not as special, I was not as important, and that's simply not true. Don't idolize all these people you see on social media. Social media is not the full story. I share a lot with you guys, I really do, and I try to be as open as possible with you guys, but there is parts of my life that are not on here, and you guys just need to know that. Not everyone puts out their whole life on social media, as they should. No one should do their whole life on social media. I share parts that I feel called to share, but I'm not going to share every single part of my life with you guys. And you guys need to know that what you see is not the full, you know, everything, the full story, and I only share what I feel like I'm called to share, what God tells me I should share. There's parts of my life that I don't share with you guys, and that's okay. That's normal, that's healthy. And just know that with YouTubers and influencers and social media in general, there's more going on behind the scenes in every single one of their lives than what you see. So don't idolize them, and don't feel like they have it all together, like they're perfect, their life is so amazing, and God did so many great things in their life, but God won't do it for you. No. What God does for these influencers and these YouTubers, God can do for you. We all have different assignments on our life. We all have different callings on our life. And, you know, just don't idolize these people. Don't put them like in this high place. They're just like you. They're just people. They're people just like you. I'm a person just like you. I just happen to have a camera and a channel, and I post, and that's it. It's nothing special. It's nothing like crazy. It doesn't make me better than you. So I just really felt led to share that, because I used to do that. I used to put these Christian YouTubers and influencers and preachers like in this, oh my gosh, like, wow, very, very high place. And it's not. They're just like us, you know, humans. They're just humans just like us. And God is the Almighty, you know, He's the one. That's God, and nobody else is God. So always look to God before you look to these influencers. I just really wanted to share that. And I think it's very important to share that. And everything that I shared here, I'm not coming from a place that I know everything, like, but I'm coming from a place of I did these mistakes and I made these mistakes. And I just want to share them with you guys so you don't make these mistakes. So I love you all so very much, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. My next video will be a vlog most likely, and I'm aiming for either Friday or Saturday to post it. So 2 videos this week, and then next week will be 1. So I'm gonna do that 2-1-2-1 schedule. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.